difference between pros or advanced players and intermediate or beginner players is not how much they practice, it's how they practice. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not preaching some bullshit 5 minutes to fretboard freedom. There is no magic pill, there is no devil at the crossroad. What I have for you is a clear, focused plan of attack. The only thing that you have to do is show up. The only question is, are you ready to put in the work? So without further ado, here they are. 3 ways pros practice. Number 1, practice in all 12 keys. Number 2, practice with a metronome the right way. And number 3, ditch your tabs. All right, tip number 1, practice in all 12 keys. I know you've heard this before, but I also know you probably don't know what it means. How do I know that? Because I didn't know what it meant. So in order to practice in all 12 keys, we need something to guide us. We need some kind of tool to show us where to go. Now, I know a lot of you watching this have done some home improvement projects, and you know there is nothing like having the right tool for the job. And do I have the tool for you? Future pro guitarist, meet your new best friend, the circle of fifths. Get comfortable because the two of you, you're going to be spending a lot of time together. So first, let me clear up a couple misconceptions about this circle. There is nothing magical happening here. There's no mystery code to unlock. All it is a chart that shows us the notes and chords and their relationships. And for now, all you need to know is that it's going to be the North Star that's going to guide you through your 12 keys. So let's just take a basic major scale as our example. We'll use this one rooted on the E string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So what's the first thing that we do when we learn a new scale? For most of us, we're going to head to our favorite position, probably A. We're going to run that bitch up and down until our hands fall off. Now there's a little bit of value to that. Sure, you're working your alternate picking, you're internalizing that scale a little bit, but the returns we're going to get on that investment are pretty limited. And then we tell ourselves, yeah, man, I've learned some new scales, but I don't really know how to apply them. I don't know what to do with them. Well, one of the main reasons that we don't know how to turn these scales into music is that most of us don't know how to put them in the position that they belong. Or even if you do, your brain and your hands don't move quickly enough to get there in time. Enter the circle. So let's take that major scale and we're going to start right at the top in C. Then we're going to move one wedge to the right until we've made it all the way around the circle. Let's take one trip around to see what that looks like. So do we do this only for scales? No, we do it for triads, we do it for licks, we do it for every single new idea you learn. Take a triad shape, let's use this one, it's a great one. Start at C, G, D, A, E. Now the secret bonus to this is that you're actually also forcing yourself to learn the notes on the fretboard, which I know you need to do, and I know you've been putting it off. And I know that because I was the same way. This is going to be slow at first. That's okay. Let it be slow. Just show up. Tip 2, use your metronome the right way. Now, I know a lot of you are probably using your metronomes, and to be clear, you're not using it the wrong way. This is only part of the way to use it. Now, a lot of us use it for rhythmic subdivision. So let's just take the spider exercise. Maybe we would start it with quarter notes. Let's turn the metronome on. And we'll count in 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we start throwing some eighth notes in there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Maybe we get some triplets in there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe even some 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a... Now these are great practices, these are great exercises to use the metronome with, but you're only using it to part of its potential. This teaches us to count rhythm, which is a crucial skill, but it doesn't teach us anything about groove. Now go on to any online social media guitar group and you're going to see people arguing endlessly about what is the difference between rhythm and groove. What do these words even mean? So here's my take on it. Rhythm is something that you count. Groove is something that you feel. So how do we apply a concept like this to the metronome? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is put your guitar down. You heard me, put it down. All right, now turn the metronome back on. Before you do anything, just listen to that beat. Let that pulse penetrate your soul until it lives inside of you. Now, while you're listening, you're going to think of a beat in your head that sort of complements that rhythm, but you're going to think more groove. You're going to think like a drummer. We're not going to even pay attention to rhythmic subdivisions. You're just going to think of what you feel. Okay? Now, once you've got it, you're going to pat that rhythm, let's say on your chest. Once you can do that, clap it. Once you can do that, speak it. Ba, 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 ba. Once you can do that, bang together 2 empty halves of coconuts. You get the point. Internalize that groove so that it lives in you. Then pick up your guitar. Got it? Good. Don't play it yet. What you're going to do is mute the strings over here and then smack those empty strings with that same rhythm. Now, important side note here, forget about ups and downs. That's an elementary way of thinking about rhythm and you're past it now. Now you're just thinking about the groove. Let's do this first one all downstrokes. Let's try all upstrokes. Let's mix it up. Doesn't matter. Upstroke, downstroke, backstroke, heat stroke. I don't care. As long as you're stroking it to the groove, you're stroking it the right way. Tip 3, throw your tabs away. Okay, don't actually throw all of them away. They can be a very useful tool for when you're just getting started out or for when you need to learn a complicated piece fairly quickly. But if you're serious about improving on this instrument, and if you want to be able to jam comfortably with other musicians, ear training is crucial. I'm going to be honest, I hate this one. I was born with trash ears. The idea of being able to play a song just by listening to it, that was witchcraft to me.
Whoa, she turned me into a newt!
The truth is, some people are born with better ears than others. That's just the way it is. You can't fight it. Some people have perfect pitch. And the reality is, you will never train yourself into having perfect pitch. It's just not possible. But what you can do is train yourself to improve your relative pitch. Relative pitch just refers to the relationships of notes or intervals. So if I hear these 2 notes, for example, there's 0 chance that I could tell you that that's a C and that that's a G. But what I could tell you is that this mystery note is a 5th interval above this mystery note. So if I can figure out what this mystery note is, then I could figure out what this mystery note is. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one position of the major scale, anywhere on the neck. If you don't know any positions for the major scale, try out this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Then I want you to completely forget about playing it quickly. Don't worry about alternate picking. Put your metronome away. All you're doing now is sinking into the quality of the notes. And what you're going to do is you're going to pedal back and forth between each note and the root note. Let me show you exactly what that means. Play one note, then another note, and then back to the original note. Then a new note, back to the original. So we'll just go ahead and start at the 1. We'll do this in A. Come to the 5th fret. We'll play 1, 2. Then we're going to play 1, 3. 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, or back to 1, our octave. You're going to play those super slowly. You're going to play those with maybe a little bit of vibrato, but you're just going to sink your soul into the way that those notes sound against each other. Now, and this might feel silly and stupid, but I want you to actually vocalize the names of the intervals as you're playing them to help internalize these ideas. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. And I'm doing it faster than I want you to do it, just to show you what I mean. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find a simple melody that starts on the tonic or the 1. That's what the 1 means, is the tonic, the key center. And most simple melodies, most melodies do start on the 1. So you're going to take something like Happy Birthday, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Mary Had a Little Lamb. None of those do it for you. You're going to Google song melodies that start on the tonic. You're going to pick one that you like. Then I'm even going to let you look up what key that song is in so that you don't have to find that original mystery note. But then calling back to what you've learned from practicing that major scale with those intervals, you're going to try to work out what the melody of the song is based on the intervals. Give yourself 10 minutes a day on this exercise. And if you're like me, it's going to go slow. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel like you are not progressing the way that you're supposed to. That's okay. What you need to do is show up and work at it every day. And the more that you can start internalizing these intervals and understanding the relationships, the easier playing by ear is going to become. I still consider my ears to be one of my biggest weak points as a musician, but I am light years ahead of where I used to be. I'm light years ahead of where I ever thought I could be. And that's an important thing to check in with. Are there other guitarists, other musicians who are way better at this than I am? Hell yes. But I don't measure myself against other musicians. I measure myself against my yester self. And my yester self, when he looks at the stuff I can do today, he thinks I'm pretty cool.
I got better.
All right, bonus. What are you doing better than the pros? You noodle, and you should never, ever stop. Noodling is fun, period. And if you're not having fun, I don't know what you're doing here. This thing is too hard. It's too challenging to deal with if it's not fun. But I want to put a little bit of boundaries on the fun that you're having. Okay, and there are two ways that we're going to do that. Number one is you are going to have to earn your right to noodle. Number two is you are going to give meaning to your noodling sessions. So how do we earn it? Simple. You start treating your noodling as your cheesecake. Your broccoli, that's your circle of fifth exercises. So once you've shown up, you've gone through your circle exercises, then you've earned the right to noodle. But let's not forget that broccoli can be pretty damn delicious if you prepare it right. And honestly, I love my circle exercises. But number two, how do we add meaning to our noodling? This one is simple too. Whatever exercises you were just practicing in the circle, you're going to apply those heavily in your noodling session. So you're going to go to YouTube and you're going to pop on Elevated Jam Track's new haunting blues ballad in B minor, but you are going to incorporate your circle exercises. So maybe you say, hey, for this first verse, I'm only going to use notes from that single string major scale I was working on. Or maybe you say, hey, for this chorus, I'm going to try to target the third interval of the last chord of every phrase. Or maybe it's something just as simple as I'm going to play the pentatonic scale in perfect eighth note subdivisions up and down 5 times during this song. Wherever you are in your journey, you're going to apply it to your noodling session. Whatever you practice that day, you're going to put it in the pudding or the cheesecake. So there you have it. Practice in all 12 keys. Use a metronome the right way. Ditch your tabs mostly. And never stop noodling with meaning. So which tip are you going to try first? Drop a comment down below and let me know. And if you're looking for something new to practice, then go ahead and check out this video on chord scales with drop D tuning. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I hope to see you in the next one.